and that was kind of, woo, it was kind of crazy. Hello everyone, it's Maura and welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. So today I'm gonna be exposing Walt Disney World. If you've been keeping up with my channel, which you honestly probably haven't, you know that about 5 months ago I went to Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida with my school chorus. And what we did on that trip, we didn't just go for fun, but what we did was we went and we performed at the candlelight ceremony with Neil Patrick Harris, so that was pretty cool. Basically what the candlelight performance is, it is the biggest performance Disney does every year, and they do it from about Thanksgiving to New Year's, I think, and there's 4 performances each night, I believe. And it's basically, there's a celebrity guest each night, and the celebrity guest tells the story of baby Jesus and how Christmas has started, and the processional, which is a bunch of people who can come in and sing through audition, of course. And then there's the Voices of Liberty who perform, and some additional cast members. And just, if you guys didn't know, the staff at Disney is called cast members, so that's how I'll be referring to them throughout the video. So yeah, so there's cast members, the Voices of Liberty, a full orchestra of like so many people, and then a huge processional. So the celebrity guest is telling the story of baby Jesus and everything, and everyone else is singing songs that like go along with the story, and it was an incredible experience. I'm so happy I got to go, and today I'm going to be sharing with you guys what that experience was like. So without further ado, let's get started. So back in September we got tracks to practice, and we had to do an audition, and the audition was we had to sing 2 songs, and the first song was one of the songs we were given to practice for performance, and then another song was just any random song. So we did one song from our fall concert, and then we did Oh Holy Night. And the cool thing about the songs Disney gave us was most of them were like traditional Christmas songs, like there was Away in a Manger, Oh Holy Night, like I said, Silent Night, but they had cool like Disney twists to them, so they weren't like how you would normally hear them. Like for example, Silent Night, we sang part of it in German, and that was super cool. We sent in a video recording of us as our audition, and we got in, and that was really awesome. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the dress code that we had to follow, because that was the next thing we found out about as a chorus, and the dress code is so strict. I've never had to follow a more strict dress code. Like, it got down to like the size of your earrings. Like, it was crazy. And it got down to like the pants you wore, like the style of pants you wore, the color of your shoes, and like you had to have black socks. And you didn't even see the socks while you performed. And if you didn't have your black socks, they had like a vending machine of socks that you could pay, like that you could put money in, and it would give you socks. Like, this was insane. Oh, and you could only have naturally colored hair. Like, if your hair was dyed pink or something, you couldn't be in the performance, or you had to wear a wig. Like, it was crazy. And the funny thing about the dress code was that we wore something else over it that was provided by Disney, so you couldn't even see the clothes we were wearing. So I just thought that was so funny how they had such a strict dress code for no reason. But it's Disney, so I'm not that surprised. So flash forward to December 20th when we went to Disney. It was after our last midterm, so we were right on holiday break, and so we left from school to go to Disney, and that was awesome. If you've never been to Disney during the holiday time, I so recommend it. Everything was absolutely beautiful. I mean, it's always beautiful because it's Disney, but like Disney during holiday time is insane. Like, they had these huge Christmas trees, and there were lights everywhere. If I can, like, I think I took some pictures when I was vlogging, so if I find like any pictures of Christmas trees, like the pretty Christmas trees that they had, then I will definitely insert them right now. So I don't remember how much of this trip I vlogged. I know it was about 20 minutes of footage that I actually posted on YouTube, but I don't remember like what I said and what I didn't, so if I repeat myself, oh well. Oh, and also, if you want to watch that video, I will link it in the description. So we get to Disney, it's at like 12:30 in the morning. I remember we had some issue with the rooms that we were staying in, and we were staying like on Disney campus, or whatever you call it, like on Disney grounds. But we traveled about 13 hours that day. It was such a long bus ride, but we finally got there at 12:30 in the morning, and then we were up again at 6 a.m. to go to Epcot, which was our first day at Disney, and the day we performed. So the candlelight performance is in Epcot, so if you ever go to Disney and during holiday time and you want to see the show, it's in Epcot. I definitely recommend it. It's such a beautiful show and I loved it so much. We get to Epcot and we basically have most of the day to hang out, ride rides, go see whatever we want to see or do whatever we want to do at Disney. And at about 4 p.m. we were to meet in Italy. I think that's where we met. It was either like Italy or Mexico or something. And we met there and we had to be in our full uniform, like the strict dress code I was telling you about earlier. And yeah, so once we got there, we had to check in with our chaperones or whatever. And then this guy took us and brought us to Backstage Disney. Unlike what you would think, Backstage Disney is actually pretty boring. I mean, it honestly looks like backstage of any production or anything you've ever done. It was kind of just trailers and sidewalks and golf carts, and it really wasn't anything special. But like with anything, you have to make you work hard in the backstage to make everything in front look beautiful, so I understand why Disney backstage isn't that fancy. And like Disney even has like underground tunnels, I think, to get cast members from one place to another in between shifts or something. I mean, I didn't see it, but that's just what I've heard. So once we were led to Backstage Disney, we stood in front of this trailer thing, and there was this lady who was talking to us. She was telling us about how everything worked. We all stood there and listened to her talk for a while, and she was giving us important information, I guess, at the time, but I don't remember what she talked about really. And then we were led to the dinner place. So everyone who performed in the candlelight performance gets a free dinner provided by Disney. And we were told that and we were so excited because Disney food is way overpriced. Everything at Disney is crazy overpriced. It's so expensive. So getting a free meal at Disney was pretty great. We were led to this big white tent, and that's where we were gonna eat. And this place was so cramped. This place was so cramped. I literally cannot even describe how tight the space was because there was at least 300 people in there because that was about the size of the processional, I think, of all the high schools that were coming to perform. I don't know if they were all high schools, but like I said earlier, there's 4 performances each night. So we performed the second 2 of the night, and there was another group who performed the first 2 of the night. I think there was the 300 of us all like in this tent, and then there was another 300 who were coming in and like getting their stuff and leaving. So there was not enough room for people. There was not enough chairs. A lot of people were like sitting on each other's laps, and we all had bags and stuff because we'd been walking around Disney all day. So we like had to leave some space for our bags. And the dinner that Disney provided us was honestly a joke. It was a box dinner. I think I took a picture of it. If I did, I'll insert that picture right here. It was literally like a 2-pack of Oreos and then like a granola bar and maybe like a bag of pretzels. I think there was something else, I don't remember, but like honestly it was not that great considering, you know, it's Disney. Like I guess I had higher expectations, but like it was free, so I'm not really complaining. And there were also bottles of Gatorade. There was like a huge long table and there was just a bunch of Gatorade bottles like lined up down the line, and there was like also water that you could get. So we had about 30 minutes to eat food, and then after that 30 minutes, we were to go and get our robes that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So it's called the candlelight ceremony or performance, I don't remember. And which means we're all supposed to look like candles. It had like this like shiny yellow thing right here, and then it was just a long yellow robe. I think I have a picture. I'll insert that picture here. So after we got fitted for our robes, we all like split up into our sections. I was singing Soprano 1 at Disney. And we all got into the next big tent that was right next to the dinner tent. And this tent just had a bunch of risers that just went back and back and back. Like there's so many big risers. And then there was a piano and a music stand. So everyone goes and they files into we all file into the room, and then we are greeted by our conductor. Now this conductor was so cute. Like he wasn't like sexy cute or whatever, but like he just really loved what he was doing, and I love people like that. Like you could just tell that he was passionate. He was so passionate with conducting us and teaching us and helping us become better musicians. We had about 30 minutes to practice. We practiced with a pianist, and after the 30 minutes we were sent to perform on stage, and that was kind of it was kind of crazy. We all like exited the room in some orderly fashion that I don't remember, and the people who were there were giving us candles because we were supposed to be holding our candles since it's the candlelight performance. So we all had candles, but they were fake candles, and this was so funny. Okay, these people took the candles so seriously. Like it was like this stick, like it's probably about this long, maybe. And then there was like a little flame at the top, and the flame was like, it was like this weird rubber material that lit up. And they were like,
do not touch the rubber part. You cannot touch the part that lights up. Over 1 million people hold these things every year. Like you cannot touch these, they'll break, and they're fragile and all this.
And I was like, okay. Before we went on stage though, we all lined up in this super long line, and I think it was like we had to get an order from tallest to shortest. I don't think I mentioned this earlier. The cast members who were helping us were so animated. Like it was so funny. Like you could tell because like they obviously work for Disney. Like they had to like keep on this happy facade, and that they have to like treat us as guests still, even though we're technically a part of the show. And they were like even, you know, it was like 300 high schoolers. Like we obviously weren't gonna be paying attention at all times. And you could I could tell that one of them was just getting so frustrated, but like she had to keep smiling. She had to like keep being nice and preppy, and I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention was how intense this show was. You couldn't tell if you were in the audience watching it, but if you knew what was going on backstage, you would know how intense this show was. So first of all, we only got 5 hours of sleep because we didn't get there until almost 1 in the morning. And then we were up and out again by 7 in the morning. So we were sleep deprived. And then we walked around Epcot all day. So we were already pretty tired. And it was in Orlando, so it was really humid and warm, even though it was in December. But we had to wear these shoes, and that were probably uncomfortable. My shoes were comfortable, but dress shoes aren't very comfortable sometimes. And we all had these hot robes that we had to wear, and there was like so many people on the stage, and there were bright lights, it was so loud, so many people were watching us, and we had to do it for an hour twice. And we had to stand, we had to hold our candles, we had to hold them in a very specific place, and we had to stand there and sing for 2 hours, which was exhausting. And the people who were telling us about it were like, okay, if you or someone around you passes out, don't freak out, don't act like anything's gonna happen, we're gonna get you off stage if you freak out, and it'll be fine, don't just relax. And it was so, when I heard that, I was like, someone did pass out on stage actually, within I don't remember if it was the first or the second show, But we were in the middle of one of our songs, and someone a few rows in front of me passed out, or I think she fell down, and one of the cast members, she was in a robe with us, so she looked like us. She was kind of short, so it looked like she was performing too. She snaked her way into the crowd, and then she took her and walked her off stage in the middle of a song, while we were still singing. And that was so funny. I mean, it wasn't funny, that poor girl passed out, but audience probably didn't even notice. I thought that was pretty crazy. But anyway, so backing up a bit, after we lined up tallest to shortest, we walked, and that was when the show started, because we walked in singing. And then Neil Patrick Harris comes out. He's got 2 security guards blocking him, even though he's on stage. He gets up and he starts telling the story of Jesus, and we all are singing background to him, and that was unreal. I mean, we didn't see him any other time other than when we were on stage, but it was still incredible. It was so cool seeing Neil Patrick Harris in person. I was 20 feet away from him, I think, so this stage was ginormous. So like I said earlier, there was a celebrity guest, which was Neil Patrick Harris when we went. There were the Voices of Liberty. The Voices of Liberty had red robes on, and then there was a huge Christmas tree looking thing made out of people, and they had green ones on, so they would look like a Christmas tree. And then there was the 300 students as the processional, and there was also a full orchestra, full band on stage, and so there was 500 to 600 people on that stage, and it was in an amphitheater, so it was outside. I don't remember which theater it was specifically in Epcot, but it was a pretty large one, and every single seat was filled up, and there were people filling up the back of the behind all the seats, and that was so cool. There had to have been at least 1,000 people watching us, and we did 2 shows, and it was like that for both shows. When the first show was over, I was well, there was a lot of people there the first time, and so I figured there wouldn't be that many people coming the next time, but that was not the case at all. There were even more people the second time. Neil Patrick Harris's family was there for the second time. I remember that. I remember seeing his husband and his 2 kids sitting in the audience surrounded by security guards, because Disney does not mess with celebrities when it comes to them visiting their theme parks. I don't know if this is a known fact, but if you're a celebrity or of a certain ranking and you want to go to Disney World or Disneyland, they have security guards around you at all times. And if you don't want to talk to your fans or whatever, the security guards will they'll tell you to back away. I think I can find a picture of what the whole stage looks like with everyone on it, with the different colored robes and everything. And if I can find that picture, I will insert that right now. So in between shows, we had time to go back to the tent where we ate dinner, and we had 15 to 20 minutes to just chill for a minute, get some water. And I remember my feet hurt so bad. I just walked back there, I got my bottle of water, and I just sat there for 20 minutes. It's just people would come and talk to me and then leave again. And people would be come here, and I'd be no, my feet hurt so bad. So I was just sitting there. After about 20 minutes, we lined up again, and then we went and performed again. Oh, and another thing that I thought was so crazy was we had only practiced together, the 300 of us of the processional, for half an hour with the pianist. And then we went on stage and performed with the Voices of Liberty, the other cast members, Neil Patrick Harris, and the full orchestra. And it was so weird. The first time we were performing all together, there was over 1,000 people watching. And that was crazy. And I didn't even know what songs were coming next sometimes, because they didn't tell us a specific order of what we will be singing. So sometimes the band or the orchestra would just start playing, and I would not know what song was coming up next. I mean, what I eventually started doing was I just would look at the sheet music of the musicians to see what song we were gonna do next. But it was kind of nerve-wracking. So after the show, we got these special Disney Performing Arts hats, and you can only get these if you have performed at Disney. This is actually my second one because I didn't really perform at Disney the first time. I did a workshop there in 8th grade with my middle school course, and we got a hat then too. So this is my second Disney hat, and it was also for free, so that was pretty awesome. But yeah, that's just about it. This was probably the most fun I've ever had performing. Like, it was so hard, like I was so tired and like burnt out, and it was nerve-wracking, but it was the best experience of my whole life. Like, first of all, being in the same area as Neil Patrick Harris, like that was pretty cool. Pretty cool. But just the performance was nothing short of magical. It was so amazing. And I just remember singing and I was just like, ah, la 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 la. Like, I was so happy to be there. It was such a fun experience. And if you ever have the chance to perform with Disney, please take it. It was an experience of a lifetime, and I think I'll be able to go back senior year because we might be going back to Disney then to perform, and I'm 100% going. That concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to make more videos for you guys. And yes, see you in the next video.